Hello, everyone, and welcome to our December meeting for SIG Contributor Experience. As a general reminder, these meetings are recorded and we post on the internet sometime later. We abide by the SIG Code of Conduct, which essentially boils down to please be excellent to each other. With that, okay, yep. Looks like several people will do end up having to drop early, so we will try and blitz things. I think we actually have a pretty light agenda, so that works out. So we'll kick off with events. Community meeting.
I am behind due to changes in job stuff, so I will catch up with it, but we are having discussions in Slack about what we should actually talk about instead of, because it sounds like the topics really aren't jiving with people. So that's kind of the general note on that one. I don't know if we want to discuss it here or just kind of keep discussing it in Slack, but I am behind. So
it's all good. And we probably want to cancel this month's anyway.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, because turnout would be really low regardless.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to ask. So
honestly, if we were to have one, it would be like holiday community meeting, which is an idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like we could do a celebratory, like
everyone come with their festive gear.
Yeah.
I mean, do you all want me to host like, do you want me to host like a silly bake-off? I'll do it. Sure. I don't know what I'll do. Maybe we could do like a silly Kubernetes improv.
That sounds like a good idea.
Okay.
And if only 5 people show up, it'll still be fun.
Okay.
We don't necessarily have to record it either.
Good. Yeah. So if y'all want to do that, I will suddenly have lots more time next week. So I can do it then. If y'all are good with that at the normal time. So that's it.
We'll sort that. We'll like send something out to KDev or something like that.
Okay. All right, y'all.
Well, that's something like the pod in the cluster walk into a bar and whatever comes after that.
Something like that. Whoever shows up, and it'll be perfect. So, yeah. Anyway, and because I'm suddenly getting Slack messages, I am changing jobs as of the beginning of next year. So I got a new job. That's why I'm behind. Sorry.
Anything you can talk about yet?
I am having fun trolling everyone on the internet. So
Not yet.
I don't really want to say it on a recording. Let me put it that way. But it's good. It's good stuff. Anyway, sorry to derail the conversation. We will do silly things next week.
Oof.
Yep. No worries. No worries.
Okay.
Any questions, comments regarding community meeting at this point? Okay. That will go into summits. So I wanted to do a general call out. There's a couple people that have poked about potentially interest in being a lead for KubeCon EU next year. Well, for the Contributor EU next year. And I just wanted to see if anyone else was potentially interested. You can either say it publicly on the call, or you can, ping myself, Josh, or anyone else that is, sort of been involved with that.
If we really need to have a European at least co-leading that, given, what about reaching out to no, they're exactly the wrong people to reach out. No, I'd say is let's go ahead and reach out to the Amsterdam Kubernetes meetup, which is very active and has some really good organizers, and see if they're interested in becoming part of a contributor summit, except that they are running their own standalone KCD 2 months before KubeCon, and so exactly the wrong people.
Yeah.
Should we put out a call on KDev?
I don't know about a call on KDev to be the lead for it. I do think, I'll call out once for like the lead itself is solidified, and then potentially the other roles.
Yeah. let's see. Should see who we've had on the previous teams who's European, and like reach out individually to them.
Yeah.
I am foolishly raising my hand as being interested. But I agree with the idea that we should have someone else that is at least EMEA time zoned to be the co-lead.
Oh. Can potentially ping like Puya again.
Yeah.
I'd be down to shadow. I don't know if we're doing that model like for leads.
Yeah, we didn't.
Sorry.
I was gonna say we didn't have any lead shadows for Valencia because we kind of threw it together at the last minute.
One nice thing with this one is we're literally reusing everything we decided for 2020 in terms of like space and swag. The one thing will be if we have to like print more shirts. So this should be a fairly easy on-ramp for people potentially interested in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you are, reach out to like myself or Josh and we can think about that.
Yeah. But you're in the US, Nigel, aren't you?
That is correct.
Yeah, because you've done a couple of these. His name is Noah, because it kind of feels like we need to at least have a co-lead who's European.
Yes, I'm saying I'd love to shadow. Like I don't want to, you know.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, I think you know as much as anybody does now, but
we'll get it sorted out. Any other summit or other event related things? Okay. Mentoring. Does anyone have like? There's a couple mentor cohorts going on right now. Does anyone have an update on those by chance? Okay, we'll move right along to marketing with Caslin.
Welcome back to Comms with Caslin.
We should actually we have it listed in here as marketing, but we should change it to contributor comms.
That's true. We did change the name, so I'll go ahead and do that. Which that's a good update. I think I might have mentioned before, but the name change has gone through. So our section of the repo is now called Contributor Comms. If you find any places that say marketing team, we welcome and encourage you to file a PR to update that to Contributor Comms. Hopefully we got all of the places where there are links, but for just the words marketing team, we didn't use automation to find all of those, so you may see them. Other updates, we had a number of new folks at our last meeting, which is always exciting. So hopefully we'll see them back again this week. We'll see. We have updated our repo with new roles for our subproject. We've been working basically over the last year to define what we want the roles in our group to be, and to decide who would lead them. So that is now updated except for subproject lead, which we had been debating what that role really was. And I think we made some good progress on that at KubeCon. Thanks, Bob, for using the words subproject lead. And so we still need to write a role definition for that. And Chris Short is coming back on as a co-sub project lead. Not that he ever really left, but he was trying to inch toward emeritus. And now he's having some changes going on where he thinks he's going to be be able to have more time to dedicate to the group again and is comfortable filling that role again. So I think that's our updates.
Cool. Does anyone have any questions or comments for contributor comms at this point?
I do, but I'm not sure if this is the right time. Basically, I was wondering if we have any Mastodon instance where we can run Kubernetes, something like that. And are there any plans? Because I have a few free days. I was hoping
There
to
is
help.
nothing that I can say on a recorded call.
Okay, perfect. Got it. Thank you.
For what it's worth, and for what it's worth, and a lot of our community is on Chris Nova's Hatchiderm server.
Okay, we can talk about it later. Sorry.
No, that's good. I think it's a good thing to bring up. One other thing I remembered that I feel like mentioning is we do have one blog post for kates.dev that is on the verge of being posted. So that's also exciting.
Cool.
So I'd been holding off on a lot of the comms role approvals for you to +1 them, Caslin.
Oh,
Let's make sure that if anything needs my LGTM, and I haven't noticed that you +1'd it, particularly because I was out sick for a couple of days, that we get those clear.
cool.
Just because a lot of them came in, and and I noticed them on new PRs, and I'm like, okay, this looks okay, but Caslin needs to approve it.
Cool.
Yeah,
let's make sure that I have those on my radar.
but once you approve it, I need to LGTM them. So
Yeah, there's
Okay.
that. We also need to update our team's list in GitHub and update some of the owner's files and things like that. So it's a good exercise in there that we've been doing, kind of understanding what all the labels are and who has access to what. And so kind of part of that. We'll sync up on that later. Other comms things? Alrighty, think we can move on.
Okay. I have no updates for contributor docs. I need to resync with the tech writers that are working on adding the course to the contributor site. I don't expect too much to happen with the holidays around the corner, but we will see. Does anyone have any questions, comments on docs at this point in time? Okay, then we will kick over to moderation. And Nigel, you have an update here?
Yeah, I mean, just having conversations with Marky this week about what we want to do with respect to the automation. It looks like what we have set up right now that's just on this channel is working. We see the videos pop up. There are 2 recordings every time we make one, and one comes from Splain and one comes from the Zap that we have. So yeah, I think we just wanted to start having that conversation, I guess, like what our steps are for moving forward if we do want to go that route.
Cool. I would definitely say yes, we want to start moving forward with it. I forget, did we actually get a licensed Zapier account, or are you using your personal one?
It is my personal one right now.
Okay.
And here's the thing, I know we've only tested it on one channel, but the way that the Zoom integration works is that you have to log in as the Zoom account that you want to be automated.
It's the same thing with Splain. No matter what, that's going to be a requirement for all of them.
Yeah, but I believe that we can log in with the top level account on with the Kubernetes top level account, and then get all of that to go through Zapier.
We'll have to test that one.
Yeah. Yeah. And it seems like, as I've been doing the moderation on YouTube for a little while now, it seems like there are some channels that have a different automation where their videos go live immediately. And I have to go back in and change the title and turn the comments off and, put it on a playlist, things like that.
The only it should just be people going in there and do that. As far as I know, we don't have any automation putting videos up there and doing them as public.
Okay.
I
would be curious to verify that.
Like there's no logs or anything like that in YouTube, which is frustrating.
Yeah. It just I don't know. Like the SIG release videos a lot of times, and if it is just one person going in and just like making a video live, like perhaps that's a conversation that needs to happen as well. Because there's some things that
they definitely need to revisit things with the YouTube admins in general. Like I am not doing anything in terms of publishing videos anymore. But like I still go in there and help out with things. But I know we have a bunch of like AFK YouTube admins that need to be potentially given the boot.
Friend. Yeah. I mean, if we want to start from like scratch, I think there is, it sounded to me like there was a way that someone could see who was like logging in and turning videos live. And then we can just kind of do that list against like what we have listed as the YouTube admins and then just prune from there.
Okay. If you know of a place where that's logged,
I don't. I just heard that was the case.
I have the list of the moderators on the YouTube side, but I don't have anything about like when they actually do anything.
Okay. Yeah. Good to know. So yeah, what do we want to do?
I don't know about this call, but we need to start like talking through the logistics of potentially enabling that for getting things going with everyone. Probably a test to see if it does work with the root Zoom account.
Yeah.
And if it does, that honestly will solve a lot of issues. But after that, I would say it's then going down into each one. Like if that doesn't work, then we need to really figure out what the rollout process will look like.
Right. And I just have to look and see, because it doesn't, I'll need to look on Zapier. I don't know if there's a way for you to take the same Zap and then like on one Zap say, okay, do multiple Zoom accounts with this, or if we need like separate ones.
So the proof of concept works. We just now have to actually like start teasing out the details.
Implementation.
Yep.
Okay. Okay.
Any other questions, comments for moderation, YouTube, any other that fun stuff? Okay. We'll move over to GitHub management. Probably the only thing you might have seen an email that I sent out to KDev the other day about us enabling retain LGTM through Squash for KK. I don't expect there's going to be any pushback on that. It's been working just fine in K website for a while now. So next Tuesday, that will probably be flipped on. Wanted to do it after, all the release stuff, just to, let things settle there. Does anyone have any questions, comments for GitHub management? Okay. We are now at open mic. First thing there is from David. Let's see. Let's see here. Are you here?
Sorry. Yes, I am. Sorry. I had to step away for a second. But yeah.
Yep, no worries.
Okay. Yeah. So I have details in the issue. Oops, the wrong camera. But just wanted to try and make some improvements for helping. I have working with a team of folks who are doing reviews on Cluster API, but I kind of noticed this is a general challenge in the contributor side of things. Trying to help it so people can, two different things. So contributors can ideally get their PRs emerged faster, and then also so that all the reviewers and approvers waste less time like sorting through which PRs do I need to review. So I had a proposal in the issue that you can see to try and add some additional labels with automation. So that way people could query based on those labels to know quickly which PRs are ready for review, or, so that makes life a lot easier. If I can share the issue or open it up if you'd like.
I will drop a link in chat. I'm just looking over it now.
So just wanted to get feedback and on the idea, and that obviously would apply to basically all the, I think pretty much K8's orgs, I think would be beneficial for everyone there. I certainly could flush more out on the automation criteria. But I think just generally, I think the first question is, are people like the 4 labels? Does the general idea make sense or not? And then if so, does the four labels in and of themselves make sense or not? And then I think if we go from there, we could fine tune the automation criteria side of things, and could work on,
So
PR to prow.
The one that needs review, at least right now, we sort of use the triage label for that.
Okay.
And it's only in KK and K website, but there's needs triage and then triage accepted. Although that's not necessarily a needs review.
So
that's like the PR person has looked at it and said like, okay, this is a valid thing.
Right. See, to me, and that's the way I perceive triage.
Yeah.
So this is more of like, that it, and again, this is not for issue. And again, this is focused on PRs, not on issues.
Yeah.
Right.
One thing I'll say, the needs approval, the criteria says check for the existence of one approval. Some PRs require multiple approvals because of different areas of the code they touch.
Yeah.
So we wouldn't actually want to remove that label.
Yeah.
The real criteria for that are going to be really complicated.
Yeah. I hear it. So like I said, automation criteria, that's gonna I'm sure that's gonna require a lot more fleshing for the different things. Approvals a really complicated one. And I think in my mind, order of priority would be like the needs review and the wait on author would be the 2 higher priority ones if I had to, look, because those I think were the most, time is wasted.
I would definitely agree on the honestly on both of them being the 2 big ones. And I definitely fall into the category of person that like has missed even if it's like waiting for the author to respond.
Right. Yeah. And I think people do generally like, it's like a good job of the first review, at least from what I've seen. It's like the first one, like, wow, it's a new one, it's fresh, it's come in,
it's coming back and revisiting it.
Yeah, exactly. After that, and then you don't know, it could be days or weeks, and you didn't realize that the author was there, or you could just be spending a lot of time, checking back on the one that you did a review on to wait for the approver. And you just, that's just wasted time that keeps adding up. And then you multiply that by the number of PRs, and you just, it's a lot of wasted time, I think, across a lot of reviewers and approvers. So if you at least have like this automation and it has the needs review, at least that's high, high on the list, so to speak. Right.
I do agree with the problem. Getting people to use labels might be we've historically had a problem with people using labels. But like I do think that this is like, does have some things that are worth exploring and potentially implementing. Can you like either honestly copy and paste what you put in the issue there, or like give a TLDR and then link the issue and send it to the like ContribEx mailing list, just to get it more eyes on people that aren't necessarily in this call?
Okay, sure. Yeah, sure. Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just no problem. Just trying to see what I can do. And then I think in terms of people using them, I mean, that's always the thing, who actually uses the labels or not. But that's why I think that's the automation is important part of it.
Yeah.
Right. And that's part of what helps, because if you're relying on people manually to add needs review, that kind of defeats a lot of the purpose. Right.
Okay, yeah.
So I don't know how much of this is automatable, like technically, but I know at least some of it is. I can't imagine it would be too complex with all the label automation we already do in the whole thing. So
the other thing I'd say, like after we do another like first round of review within ContribEx, Laura, this would be a great thing to bring up at the community meeting.
Yeah, we can put it on for January. That would probably be a good one, since we're not going to have December.
Yeah.
But it'll give us a chance to do a review with ContribEx first.
So yeah, I'd say like we do our sort of first round review here, and then we'll bump it up to sort of the community at large. It'd also probably be worth talking with some of the folks in test infra that actually are the owners and handle a lot of the coding of the automation side of things. But yeah, no, like I agree, it's a problem. Actually, if you want to send it to both the ContribEx and the SIG testing mailing list, that might be a good sort of good next step.
Okay, I'm not sure I have those mailing lists, but maybe if someone could Slack DM me or post it in chat, then I can do that. No problem.
One moment.
Okay.
So just as a FYI, like you can get the mailing lists if you go to the Kubernetes community repo, and then in like the SIG testing directory or SIG ContribEx directory, they'll have links to the mailing lists there.
Okay.
So like here's the testing one.
Oh, I see. There's the master SIG list marked down. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I see it. Cool. Thank you. Yeah, I'll send that out, and yeah, let me know. I guess, is there any other feedback from any other folks on the labels themselves?
Right now, like gut check without like really thinking through all the conditions. Pretty solid.
Okay. Cool. All right. Yeah, and then the testing one, it's kind of like one of those deals where obviously you could check the PR to see if it fails, but the thinking is that that could add additional like search juice, because you can't like search all the things without the labels there. So yeah. Anyway, okay, cool. Thank you.
Cool. Let's see. Was there?
I just added the ContribEx mailing list.
Okay.
And also Dev, because I grabbed that one first.
I think it was Josh that had this thing about the contributor.dev, and he said he had to drop.
Yeah, he said he had to drop and that it's not urgent. We can talk about it on Slack.
Okay, yeah. Biggest thing is the CNCF was developing this little thing to basically surface like good first issue type stuff for all the various projects, and are looking for feedback. So that's a quick TLDR on that one if anyone wants to take a look at it before potentially talking to Slack about it. With that, is there any other items people would like to talk about today? Cool. We will call it there then. I'll see everyone around in Slack. If I don't, I'll see you in January. Later, Alton.
Bye.
Red holidays.